I think Member Harkey touched on it, but I think that the fact is that I think one of the challenges that, of course, the challenge we have before us is how to deal with this information, trying to move forward with gas prices and gas tax. The bigger problem I think Californians have is they end up with a system that is just irrational when it comes to them to be able to actually recognize what the amount of tax is when they pull up to the gas pump. I think, I've written on some issues on this, but, the fact is there was a day when you would drive up to the gas pump. On the gas pump was a sticker. The sticker said, excise tax, fed this much, excise tax, state this much, and this much sales tax is applied. And so you knew exactly what it was. In addition to that, then the cost of your gas, or the effect of tax on the gas, would adjust immediately. When it is that there would be a increase in the cost of the gas going to the pump, then there was an immediate adjustment to that because excise tax stayed the same, both federal and state, and then the sales tax adjusted accordingly to the amount of sale. So there was an immediate knowledge to the taxpayer. Right now, I defy any time. I think we struggle right now with this crazy formula. And I think for all of us, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out this formula and what it means. So to the average taxpayer out there, there's no way they understand what the issue is and how much tax they actually pay on a gallon of gasoline, which I think is symptomatic of a big problem. That is, I think clarity of tax is essential for taxpayers. And I think the thing that bothers me in the process is this was a one-time event to try to transfer some money that the state needed back 5 years ago. And now for the last 5 years and continue into the future until it changes, we're still going to keep going through this exercise because of a one-time event and adjustment. So I struggle with that in terms of the policy of it. That being said, the law gave us responsibility. I, for one, once we deal with this, would like to consider another issue to which I think we ought to have a discussion about, and that is whether or not it's even appropriate for the BOE to make this adjustment. If it is indeed as ministerial as Member Harkey points out, and quite frankly, we are engaged with finance when we come up with these numbers, correct?
Correct.
Then I just question why this finance just doesn't promote these numbers and then actually act on this as a part of their ministerial duties. They do this in other capacities. And so why it is that we can't then change the law to actually reflect how this is really done, I think is something that we need to consider. On top of that, I do believe that there ought to be a broader solution, and that is trying to make sure there's clarity in regards to the tax itself. And that is the whole swap ought to be put away and go back to a system that, again, fully funds. I think the problem is we still want to fully fund the cost of the road issues that we have before us. But at the same time, taxpayers deserve the knowledge of how their money is being spent and where it's and how it is being collected. And right now, I think that's a very hazy issue. So I think we can question the formulas. We can say, how much is it? How should we chisel off a little here? Is this the assumption that we're making? If we did it in this month, would it be better if we made it in the last month? But the point is, it's all going to be a bit of guesswork. And as a result of that, the formula has for us the responsibility of not only projecting forward, but also then of truing up when it is that we have to deal with it the next year. And so I have a question that I'd like in terms of procedure, because I'd like to make a motion actually that we adopt recommendations 1, 2, and 3 that is set before us. I don't think there's any issue with us taking all of these up at the same time. So my motion would be to adopt staff recommendation 1, 2, and 3.